chocolates, and it looks like we're going without them even asking us.
We don't actually get a chance to eat them at any point. They're just sitting there. We might throw them out of the crowd at some point.
Great map decision here by Bischu, TotalBiscuit, and that's what happens when you win the first game, is you get to choose the third, which is obviously fantastic in a best-of-3 series.
Oh, yes, it is. And let's see if Bischu can bring it back. He wants this so badly, but the man standing in his way goes by the name of Stephano. He's from Team Millennium. He is in the pink trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the northeast of this particular map, which is, of course, the TotalBiscuit, versus his opponent from Team Dignitas. The equalized series, one apiece going to Game 3. It is Bischu. He is in the yellow trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the southwest.
And don't forget, guys, on the stream and audience, we're actually, after this game, we've literally got 5 minutes to do the next one, but obviously that'll get delayed a little bit. We're going into your MLG hero, Hey Pro.
Hey Pro.
Versus Nama will be coming up next. That's going to be a great game for sure. Meanwhile, there's the pylon on the natural area. This is going to be obviously a Forge Fast Expand. I'm kind of thinking about the time for the Forge. Usually it can be 12 if you're playing against a super aggressive player, but Stephano's not early aggressive, he's like mid-late aggressive. So you can get away with like even Nexus first. Probably Nexus first not so much because spawning pool usually goes down first, so we're probably going to be seeing like a 14 Forge, 15 Forge into Nexus.
Yeah, let's see if that comes out, and we'll see what Stephano decides to do. Stephano is actually kind of predictable in the way that you don't see Stephano go 6 or 7 pool. You really, really don't. You barely ever see him go 9 or 10 pool. He's almost always going pool on 14, always hatching first. Hatching first against Protoss, of course, just barely ever happens because you can never trust your opponent to stay honest and not cannon rush.
Yeah, and there is the double probe scout. Basically what this is for is if Stephano wasn't top right, it would take him, the longest time possible to go bottom right.
Yeah.
And if 6 pool was coming, he needs to build a pylon like ASAP in his mineral line, which he's doing already actually because he hasn't scouted. So playing very, very cautious here, and he can build a cannon in the mineral line if a 6 pool was there. So, and anyway, he does scout and see it. So basically the cannon, he's saying, and I'm actually, hold on a minute. Why is he not, okay, so he's built double pylons here. I'm not too happy about the decision with the pylon in the main base.
Yeah.
I know he was like, but he's delayed his Nexus a really long time here. He's got a second pylon, if need be, on the natural of Stephano. So he's like 100 minerals behind himself. And there goes a cannon down on the natural as well. But that 100 minerals, that 100 pylon, it's super cautious because of 6 pool. But at the same time, he's hurt himself a little bit. He's not going to get that Nexus up as fast as he wanted.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. And, of course, that pylon is going to die eventually. It will delay this expansion. It's this is one of the best maps to delay expansions on. What?
Wow, okay.
Okay, that's... What?
So basically what we're seeing here is he knows everything's going to go down, but he's going to delay the hatchery for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So because buildings are going to take a long time to go down. Both of these buildings actually have to go down before he can expand down. So... yeah. He's forced Stephano to go actually kill the rocks at the top. So one gets cancelled, and he's going to go expand to the third base on the top left. In this scenario now, Bischu, in all honesty, should be getting gases very, very shortly, and he should be going Stargate. You force your opponent to go ahead and expand to a further location away, or you should be at least. You can get away with going Void Rays, especially in these locations, even though it's cross-position.
Yeah, Bischu will, of course, cancel that one. He did lose some minerals, but it doesn't really matter. That's a very significant delay to that expansion here for Stephano. And this map is perfect because of those rocks. You can't expand to the top as Zerg. You can't do that early on in the game. You've got no way to make that happen, which means you've got to expand somewhere risky if you want to double up.
So far, we actually see Stephano still in gas.
Interesting.
There is a macro hatch, which there is the Roach Warren, and I'm the best at predicting anything in the world, but that's a macro hatch.
Yep.
Questionable decision to remain in gas. Usually if he remains in gas, it's either for aggression, or that he wants to just save up 100, well, not 150, like 200, 300 gas.
Yeah.
So he can immediately start +1-1 if he wants to go that kind of style. So that's probably what we're going to see here, is just saving up gas, banking up gas to go directly into 1-1. Meanwhile, there's a Cyber Core, and we don't have enough gas to throw a Stargate down because we're going for +1 as well. So probably not going to be seeing a Stargate, and just very similar to Game 1. Double gateways coming down, probably a kind of fast robotics facility as well. Oh no, there's a layer, so that's another decision here. So what we're seeing from Stephano is actually going to be 2-base Mutalisk really fast. Mutalisks are fantastic on this map. I don't know why I actually thought that he wasn't going mutas, but he is going to be going mutas very soon.
Well, I suppose because we haven't really seen it from him an awful lot. We didn't see it a lot in Telford either, the mass muta style and things like that. An interesting decision to take this hatchery up to the top here. Bischu actually has a pylon, but he doesn't know about that hatchery yet.
And the probe's going to go in and sees no gas on the natural. No, he doesn't see it quite, but he doesn't see any units, so
he doesn't spot the
in
layer either,
dark.
which is unfortunate. So he doesn't really have...
Oh, double gas has been taken from Bischu, though.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Before the gateways, so double gas is this fast. It can be a funky Twilight cancel going down.
Yeah.
And like a funky DT timing, which is pretty weird. Or it could be the fact that he's literally just going to go for super fast Colossus, which doesn't make that much sense either. So going to have to follow precisely what he's doing here. Meanwhile, Stephano is at layer. And Roach Warren going down, and Borrow.
He's really mixing things up at this point.
I know this is really This is really hard to kind of read Stephano right now. I mean, double Stargate. Okay,
there you
so
go.
that's what we're taking up to right now. So double Stargate, cross positions. You can only go one star. I mean, if you go one Stargate, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
If you go double though, you're gonna get a lot of surprises because Zerg have a hard time scouting. Then all of a sudden, there's literally gonna be 8 Phoenixes come out of nowhere. And if he did go Mulisk as well, you get that added bonus of kind of blind countering your opponent. So I quite like this decision to go double Stargate.
Yeah, it's a nice idea, honestly. And it's going to play really well into his hands because of this. That said, I think Bischu's just going to be able to clean this up anyway. There are a couple of roaches popping out, but I am not convinced as to that.
If he warps in a couple more zealots, he can actually take this down.
Kill the hatchery, yeah. Oh, wow, that's only one roach. That was actually an overlord right there. Another roach is coming in, but yeah, a couple more zealots. He realizes, oh, God, I could actually kill this. That would be a huge blow to Stephano.
Oh my God, he's going to get it. He's actually going to get it. That's a big, big win for the Swedish player Bischu right now, as he really does slow down the economy of his opponent. And look at this double Void Rays coming into play. Not even opting to go for Phoenix. So this is just going to be like a WTF moment. And I think showing the roaches just kind of forced him to go into Void Rays rather than Phoenixes. Yeah. Phoenixes are obviously great against Mulisk, but Void Rays are pretty kick-ass against Roachling.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to go Void Ray with mutas on the field for obvious reasons, unless you have significant Phoenix count as well. In this case, though, roaches, they're really, really slow. Void Rays can pick them off quite nicely. They, needless to say, can't shoot up. So that's a big problem there. And the Void Ray count now about to be at 3, and he continues to keep them hidden. I do not like the fact that Stephano is not going to Overseer. And he's, because if he had an Overseer, even a Changeling into the natural here would give him some information. An Overseer flyover, that would work, but there's no Overseer at all. That's
like the difference between Stephano and Rhett. Both fantastic players, but Rhett is a player who will scout all day long. And this is going to hurt when he doesn't know what's going on. He's going to see 3 cannons. Oh, no, he doesn't actually see 3 cannons. He sees 2, 3, okay, 4. Now he's going to be like,
what's behind that?
Why do you have 4 cannons? And he's going to be like, what is going on? And this is going to hurt.
Yep, the Cybernex core's been picked off, which is something of a pain. Another Cyber core's been started. So no Stalker or Sentry can actually come out at the moment. Oh, does he see those Void Rays? He doesn't.
No, because they're borrowed, so they have a smaller sight range.
Yeah.
But the Xelnoga Tower is going to reveal them now. Okay, so he now knows about it. Look at the production tab. What are we seeing from Stephano in terms of reaction? He has a single Spore Crawl on the natural, but that's it. Hydra then goes down. More Spore Crawlers are going down. He knows he's actually in trouble. A single Spore Crawler with 1 or 2 queens there to defend is not going to be enough. This is excellent play here from Bischu.
Bischu's looking really great. He doesn't want to lose that Phoenix. That would be unfortunate, but he does keep it alive just there. 3 Void Rays, no problem. Not a problem, especially if you just micro them, make sure they have very strong shields. He can easily dodge out of the way there.
He has to micro, though.
Yes, he does. He's got to be careful. A 4th Void Ray coming to back that up, plus more Phoenixes. He has full air superiority. You know what I'd like to see right now from Bischu? Another warp in on that natural.
Look at this right now. The roaches on the natural burrowing. There's no sight range for them at the back there. So Stephano manages to get through and crashes through. And without sight range, aside from the cannons, he can't mine from this natural, having to bring all the Void Rays back. And that was the distinctive move that kept Stephano in this game. If he hadn't have broke through,
that would have been disastrous for him. There's no doubt. If he just sat there like, oh God, I'm being attacked. Well, now what he's done is he's drawn this back. That Nexus could go down, actually. Yeah, it will. Wow. And there you go. He trades it very nicely. Stephano's so intelligent when it comes to picking where to engage.
And he's borrowing, and he's building 10 drones at one time. He's at 50, going to be at 60. There's Hydras everywhere. And basically, Bischu's back in Stone Ages, and he really is. He's trying to get a robotics facility up, needs to get a new Nexus up. these roaches just didn't work. I mean, they did work, but the Void Ray Phoenixes just didn't do the job. He let Stephano into the natural, which is why he built 4 cannons to
try and prevent that. But
you
can bust that. It's as simple as that. No amount of static defense is going to stop that kind of determined bust. Now, Bischu has had the opportunity, I feel, to actually warp in and do damage here, but the panel is now being cleaned up, and honestly, there are so many Hydras there now. I don't know, actually, the Phoenix count is really high, and Phoenixes do actually kill Hydras very quickly, assuming he doesn't lose half of them before he engages. There we go, there's a quick grab there, and the Void Ray's trying to reinforce from the back, and there we go, all in the air for the moment, but reinforcements coming in from the back, more coming in, and how many Phoenixes do you have? He's down to 3, looking for another one right there. The burrowing Hydralisk just underneath there, just trying to keep them alive to reinforce. Surprise attack. Bischu didn't know it was there. He loses a Void Ray before he even realizes. So good use of the burrow. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Stephano, such a sneaky little bugger.
Yeah, I mean, what you missed on stream was he cancelled the Nexus twice in a row, and also sent roaches into the main and killed basically all the probes. There was literally nothing he could do there at the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, we can have a quick look. We'll go back to the replay and show people.
He was messing around with Void Ray and Phoenixes, but at the same time, he was like, oh, I'm losing all my probes. So it was an all-in or nothing at that point in time.
Yeah, that was really, really interesting stuff, and I do like the use of the burrow micromanagement. Very smart play there, and of course, realizing his opponent was not covering the map in observers. He didn't have any method of detection. Yeah. It's like, all right, you've killed my Hydras. No, you haven't. There's 2 here. Here's some reinforcements. Then they pop up, and before he realizes, and of course he's dealing with that attack of the natural, which we'll get to shortly there on the replay.
I'm like, I kind of was reading and looked over, and I'm like, you're showing it? And I'm like, oh wait, never mind.
No, not showing it yet. You're
just getting there. While you get there, let's have a look at some results. Just opening this up now. So it looks like Show currently 2-0 within his group.
Very impressive.
Looking at this, Show beats Bischu 2-0. Bischu losing versus Stephano actually knocked him out the tournament.
Oh,
so Bischu
harsh.
is out the tournament, and that is harsh indeed. That's why it was that crucial game in the middle, which was so important to play, and Stephano advances as well, going 2-0. DBS out also. In the other groups, where are the other games we played? Okay, Sase is currently 2-0, and that win for Mers is so important that he's actually been able to do that. And there's the cancellations on the Nexus, as you can see.
Yep, that was the first one we did see. That's the second cancel there with a single Void Ray left to do it.
And then he just charges for the Mineral Lines here, which really just throws Bischu out the game.
Yeah, exactly, and that would probably explain why he was losing that Void Ray at the back there. He was just completely distracted. Stephano getting into that, doing some damage, and Burrow again. And of course, you can note this entire time, he's got no detection. So Burrow is super effective, and Bischu GG's at that point.